call on the President to address you.
May I say what a great pleasure it is to be here and to have an opportunity of meeting the neighbours on a fine day. Now, it must be a very powerful committee indeed when it is able to influence the weather like this. So fair play to you. Agus is mín a weakest person to go on some firkid fáilse a darish of Romain is Rippa van Kayla Saidi. Sabina is accompanying me here, and we're both delighted to be able to meet so many people from Stoney Batter. Tasha fixed an ish. I was out earlier over in Dublin Castle celebrating 60 years of Irish peacekeeping abroad, and particularly to pay tribute to all of the families who send their people abroad in building peace. And it's great to be here now just immediately afterwards. And I want to say thank you to all of them, and listening to what Joe has described, all of the people who generously give their time and give their talents and sharing it in the street with everybody. Artists, musicians, historians, actors, the local business in Loughnane, museums, churches and community groups have all given time. And most importantly, I met really those, what you might call, great martyrs for the cause of everything in Ireland. I met the treasurer earlier on and all of the committee, and I want to say all those people are giving voluntarily of their time. You know, if life is short, it's all the better when it's shared with as many people as possible. I've been talking often about citizenship during my time. Thank you, Joe, for your warm comments. But really, citizenship in the end, it's a big, long word. It's very about caring for each other and taking all of each other's concerns into ourselves, both our successes. There's a great bit of silver I was looking at there a few minutes ago. But also taking the times when, in fact, sharing all our vulnerabilities and our needs with each other. And you know, nothing is more important, probably, I think, than, in fact, friendship. As we say in Irish, Carthanachus. So friendship and community and solidarity. I think we should realise as well, how is it that we're all able to be here? We mustn't forget we're not too far from the resting place of 14 of those who were executed in the 1916 Rising. So that we might be able to be free. And I think it is just about 80 years ago, the first President of Ireland moved into Áras an Uachtaráin, replacing a previous form of governorship in this country here. And I'm the 9th. But I have to say to you, I will be celebrating Douglas Hyde arriving and moving into Áras an Uachtaráin and the significance of it. I'll also be paying tribute to all of the people who made that possible. We have an Áras an Uachtaráin now on the grounds for the first time. We have an acorn which celebrates all those who took part in sowing the seeds of our independence and everything that will happen in the future that we will achieve together. And also a tribute to the Citizen Army. Never let us forget the Citizen Army who defended the workers of Dublin and who are so important in the history of the trade union movement. Now, one of the statues on the way to the Áras is one of Thomas Davis, who died very young, but he said some very important words, and among those important words were, cultivate the love of your brethren. Now, I think as well this year is a special year. Agus cuireann sé glindar mar críonn méid Gaeilge tá núsá do Bhliain na Gaeilge. During Bhliain na Gaeilge, the issue is we're not tyrannically imposing the language, but asking everyone who has the cúpla focal to increase it and use it whatever way you like. There's no baggage anymore associated with the Irish language. On méid focal atá as a bhuin úsáid asta. Agus in réhan blina seo, Gin éireach speisialta chun an Gaeilge chur in úsáid go generálta. I'm talking a talk of the Bradshaw in Maryland now. They really speak, it's very important. And you know, young people of all ages often say to me, it's very important to be authentic. People say it about music and about art and about life. The Irish word for that is darira. So tam darira kastavarta. We need to be sincere about if we declare Blina Gaeilge, let's make sure Irish is in a stronger position at the end of it. Now back to Stoney Batter. For over a century, Stoney Batter hosted the largest market in the country. Hundreds of thousands of cattle and sheep would come by train to Euston Station. They weren't buying their tickets themselves. But every year they would come down along North Circular Road to the North Wall and Dublin Port. And that is where I think the Dublin Artisan Dwelling Company built cottages off Oxmantown Road during the 1880s and 90s. This community is steeped in tradition of different kinds. And of course today, the community is continuing to change. And as President of Ireland, I want to wish you well with all of those changes. I am very conscious, for example, that just like so long ago, we are facing a big issue. How are we going to solve the housing problem? The biggest issue in Ireland at the present time. And when we do so, we'll draw on our history and say, we do so because it is a right, not because we want to satisfy the market. Our market is in fact a time for when we were moving cattle. What we're talking about in the Republic is when we look after the basic needs of people in nutrition and in housing, building peace like I mentioned, and taking the care of each other into our hearts. And we must all work together to sustain and promote solidarity and cohesion, and to identify what it is that we're able to overcome together and all the challenges that we face. Rad atá rísilir dom hain. Ní lein dúthlan an nach féidirlin frastalir. There is no challenge we can't conquer if we do it together. Now the sun is shining, and here we are in Stoney Batter, having the festival again. May you have many festivals into the future. May it always be there. And may the friendship that it creates blossom in all of your lives for all of your days and nights. Míle buíochas es Barbara.